large crowds, haircuts, birthday parties, jeans, button-down shirts, and certain foods, all overwhelming. Sensory processing disorder symptoms that can be so hard on our kids. When they suffer, we suffer. So if you have a child who is easily overwhelmed in large crowds, is always touching everything, or doesn't pick up on social cues or understand personal space, not only can it be frustrating, but it can be absolutely heartbreaking to watch them struggle with stressful sensory situations. There's not a one-size-fits-all for sensory processing challenges, but sensory processing disorder is a condition that affects how the brain and the nervous system processes stimulus. It can affect all 5 general senses, like our touch, our smell, our sight, our taste, and our hearing. If your child struggles with sensory processing disorder, you already know its effects. So in this video, we will look at the root causes and the specific tasks that we can use to measure the struggle. Yeah, you heard that right, moms and dads. There is a task that we can use to quantify it, and then even more importantly, get to work helping make the sensory processing system more comfortable and able to handle stimulus. This video is for moms and dads who want to dive deeper into how to help their child with sensory struggles. Most likely they've tried therapies and diets and often avoided situations that are difficult altogether to no or very little avail. What we're going to do within this video is walk through the root cause of sensory processing disorder. It starts within our nervous system, very early in development. Plus, there is a unique and non-invasive way to be able to test, measure, and quantify this neurologically. And that's where we use our INSiGHT scans, or the advanced neurological testing we use right here in the office. There are 2 different kinds of sensory processing challenges. There's sensory avoiding, meaning they don't want to be touched, and sensory seeking, which is always in need of more stimulation. And children can have most definitely a mix of both. To find the root cause of these struggles, we have to go all the way back to your child's development, often even before delivery. One of the very first things to develop in utero is the brain and the autonomic nervous system. So if our mothers are left in a constant state of distress and anxiety, this can greatly affect the developing infant's brain and nervous system. Another trigger is birth intervention and trauma, like forceps and vacuums, inductions and C-sections, which can disrupt the function of the brainstem and upper cervical spinal cord regions, which are the most important areas for processing and integrating sensory information before it reaches the brain. Think of our brainstem as air traffic control for all of your child's 7 senses, where it's responsible for not only organizing and processing this information, but also keeping out unwanted or annoying information. It essentially works as like a big old filter. This unwanted and annoying information is known as nociception. The reason that your child may be avoiding certain stimuli is to avoid additional noisy and stressful situations that they can't yet tolerate. Additionally, if they're constantly moving and seeking out physical touch and stimulation, they're doing so in order to bring about proprioception, which is the sense of movement. While it may not seem like it, all of that movement and touching things is actually calming to their brain. The nervous system is a 2-way street. One set of nerves is called sensory nerves that sends information and report to the brain and brainstem precisely what's going on inside of our body, so like our internal environment, and outside of our body, or our external environment. The other set of nerves is more of what is termed as motor control nerves that send signals out from the brain and spinal cord and tell various parts of the body what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. As parents, we measure these systems through the symptoms they produce. But this often doesn't tell the whole story of what is going on the body and inside the nervous system. This is why taking a test to look under the surface is so incredibly important with children who struggle with sensory processing disorder. The best part is that this test can be done very easily and comfortably. This test, which is conducted in our office, consists of 3 different neurosensory scans from a technology called the INSiGHT scanning. The INSiGHT scans are about finding, tracking, and understanding if subluxation, stress onto the nervous system, and dysautonomia are present. And if they are, we need to know 2 things about them. How significant or severe, mild, moderate, severe, or intensive, and where within the neurospinal system are things primarily located, so that we're able to track it and target it to take care of it. Think of the neurospinal system as the fuse box within our home. While our nervous system is quite a bit more intricate and complex than that, many of the sensory and motor nerves function very, very similarly. In our office, we use the neurofuse chart to help us better track and locate where and what kind of trouble that subluxation or stress stuck onto the nervous system and dysautonomia may be causing. Making sure the system is working at full function is simply the most important exam and assessment any pediatric provider could ever perform for your child. Put simply, if our nervous system isn't calm on the inside, sensory symptoms will show on the outside. In just 10 to 15 minutes, these safe, non-invasive scans and tests can find, measure, and locate stress stuck onto the nervous system, as well as the overall balance and function within your child's autonomic nervous system. This testing helps us put together a customized care plan that fits your child's exact needs and starts to restore function and balance to the autonomic nervous system. This is the missing link to help your child with their sensory processing challenges.